1. The new semester begins. It was the first week of the monsoon semester. The college campus, located on the outskirts of Shimla, looked even more mysterious under the thick fog and scattered drizzle. Rohit, a 21-year-old journalism student from Delhi, had just moved into the boys' hostel. An introvert by nature and orphaned at a young age, Rohit found comfort in solitude, books, and his camera. His room overlooked the dense forest that bordered the college campus. Most students avoided the backside of the hostel after dark. Locals whispered about strange disappearances in the forest. They spoke of a woman, a spirit, who wandered there searching for her lost love, betrayed and dead. But Rohit didn't believe in ghosts. He was logical, grounded in reality. 2. The first encounter. One evening, while trying to capture the rolling mist in the forest with his camera, Rohit saw her. A girl in a white salwar suit with damp hair stood completely still in the fog near the edge of the forest. She didn't move, she didn't blink, but she looked incredibly beautiful. Captivated, Rohit lowered his camera and waved at her. The girl gave a faint, mysterious smile and disappeared into the trees. That night, Rohit couldn't sleep. Her image haunted his thoughts. 3. The girl with no name. The next day, Rohit searched for her across the campus. The college wasn't big. New faces were easily noticed. But no one seemed to know anything about her. That evening, she appeared again. This time, she was even closer. Rohit approached her cautiously. "Hi, I saw you yesterday near the forest. Are you new here?" She smiled, her voice as soft as a breeze. "You could say that. What's your name?" he asked. She paused briefly. "Meera," a name that sounded both beautiful and ancient. "Do you study here?" Rohit continued. Her eyes flickered strangely. "Not exactly." Before he could ask more, she turned and walked back into the fog, disappearing just as suddenly as before. 4. The obsession grows. From that night onward, Rohit waited eagerly to meet Meera. She would appear near the same spot at the edge of the forest, always at dusk, always calm, always distant, and always enchanting. He became obsessed. She never let him walk her home. She never gave him a phone number. She never appeared during the day. And yet, every evening, she whispered hauntingly beautiful stories. Tales of pain, betrayal, and love that ended in sorrow. Stories that felt strangely real. One evening, Meera leaned close and softly asked, "Would you still love me if I wasn't human?" Rohit laughed, thinking she was joking. "Love isn't about bodies," he said. "It's about connection." She smiled slowly. "Then you are mine. Forever." 5. The change. Rohit started changing day by day. He stopped attending his classes, avoided his friends, and barely responded to anyone. He no longer ate properly, and dark circles formed under his eyes. His cheerful nature faded into silence. He often stared into the forest through his window, smiling to himself. His roommate, Arjun, grew concerned. Rohit would sometimes wake up in the middle of the night, screaming Meera's name, sweating and trembling. On other nights, he talked in his sleep, whispering strange, chilling things in a voice that didn't sound like his. One night, Arjun decided to follow Rohit secretly. 6. The curse of Meera. Rohit left the hostel after midnight and walked deep into the fog-covered forest. Arjun followed quietly behind. What he saw froze his blood. Under the old twisted tree at the heart of the forest, Rohit stood with Meera. She was smiling, but her feet weren't touching the ground. Her long hair floated in the air, and her shadow had no head. She turned to look directly at Arjun, though he hadn't made a sound. Her eyes glowed red. A cold wind rushed past. Terrified, Arjun ran back to the campus and went straight to the office of Dr. Kabir Anand, a professor of folklore and paranormal history. Hearing the name Meera, Dr. Kabir turned pale. He told Arjun the truth. Meera was a student here, 40 years ago. She fell in love with a senior who used her and betrayed her. She became pregnant, and the boy abandoned her. Broken and humiliated, she committed suicide, hanging herself from the very tree you saw her at. But why is she back now? Arjun asked, horrified. Her spirit never left, Dr. Kabir said. Every few years during the monsoon semester, she returns to find a boy who reminds her of the one who betrayed her. She draws him in with love and slowly consumes his soul. Arjun's voice shook. So she's going to kill Rohit? Dr. Kabir looked away. No. Worse. she will live through him. 7. The fight for Rohit's soul. Dr. Kabir gave Arjun an ancient mantra, an old chant from a forgotten text. If chanted under the cursed tree during a full moon, it might break the spirit's hold on Rohit, but there was a catch. It had to be done before sunrise, or Meera's soul would fully enter Rohit's body, making the possession permanent. That night, the full moon rose. The forest trembled with wind and whispers. Arjun and Dr. Kabir reached the old tree with a torch and a chant in hand. Rohit was already there, unconscious, lying at the base of the tree. Meera stood over him, her form glowing unnaturally. "You cannot take him," she said in a voice that echoed through the woods. "He chose me. He loves me. He's mine, forever." But Arjun stepped forward and began chanting loudly. Meera screamed, a bone-chilling sound that shattered the silence of the forest. Her face twisted, her body started burning with black smoke, and the tree itself shook violently. Blood dripped from the leaves, the ground split slightly beneath them. But Arjun kept chanting, even as fear gripped every inch of him. 8. The shocking twist ending, Part 1 finale. Just as the final words of the chant were spoken, Rohit opened his eyes. But they weren't his eyes, they glowed red. He slowly stood up and smiled strangely at Arjun. "Thank you, Arjun," he said, but the voice wasn't Rohit's. It was Meera's. "Now, speaking from inside Rohit's body, you helped me complete the ritual," she whispered. "Now, I have a new body." The forest fell dead silent. Even the wind stopped. Dr. Kabir gasped in horror. And the last thing Arjun saw was Rohit walking away into the fog, his feet no longer touching the ground. Suspense hook ending. What if the one you loved wasn't the one who woke up beside you the next day? 1. The new beginning or a new curse. It had been a week since Rohit disappeared. No one had seen him. Not in class, not on campus, not even near the hostel. Arjun was admitted to the hospital, traumatized and constantly repeating the same line. Rohit is not Rohit anymore. She's inside him. No one believed him, except Dr. Kabir, who quietly resigned and left the town. But one night, as the fog returned heavier than ever, a figure was seen standing near the college gates. It was Rohit, but something in his eyes had changed. Something unnatural. 2. The return of the possessed. Students were surprised and confused. Rohit said he had gone home due to personal issues, though no one could verify that. He rejoined classes, spoke less, smiled strangely, and never blinked for too long. At night, hostel mates complained of hearing whispers outside their doors and of seeing Rohit standing still in the corridor, even when the lights were off. One student, Rahul, claimed he saw Rohit talking to himself near the forest. Another girl, Priya, said she saw him floating just inches above the ground during a blackout. No one dared confront him. 3. The realization. Arjun, now released from the hospital, returned to campus with a resolve. He had to save his best friend. He gathered the strength to confront Rohit. That evening, in the common room, Arjun blocked Rohit's path. "You're not him. You're not Rohit." Rohit stared blankly, then smirked. "Maybe I'm better than Rohit ever was." "You're Meera," Arjun whispered. Rohit's eyes flickered red for a moment. Clever boy, but too late. Arjun realized the truth. Meera hadn't just possessed Rohit. She was evolving inside him. Each day, her spirit grew stronger, and soon, there would be no trace of Rohit left. 4. The plan to break the curse. Determined, Arjun contacted a tantrik named Baba Rudranath, known for dealing with spirits of the highest order. After listening to everything, Baba said, "This is no ordinary Chudail. She is a Prem Atma, a spirit born from love and betrayal. To free Rohit, her soul must willingly release him, and that will never happen unless she experiences the same betrayal she once suffered." Arjun was shocked. "You mean we have to break her heart?" Baba nodded. "Yes. Rohit must tell her. He never loved her." "But that would destroy Rohit from within," Arjun said, trembling. "It's the only way to save his soul," Baba replied gravely. Betrayal recreated. With Baba Rudranath's guidance, Arjun crafted a plan. He had to trick Meera, who now controlled Rohit's body, into believing Rohit wanted to break up with her. One foggy evening, Arjun invited Rohit to the forest where they used to meet Meera. Rohit arrived, distant but smiling coldly. Arjun began his performance. "I talked to Rohit before you took over," Arjun said loudly. "He told me everything. He never loved you. He was just curious." Meera's voice came out of Rohit, hurt and trembling. Lies. You're lying. No. He told me you were just a ghost story to him. Something to explore and forget. Like a journal entry. Suddenly, the wind howled. Trees shook violently. Rohit fell to his knees, screaming. A ghostly voice cried out from within him. No! He loved me. He said he'd never leave. The betrayal was complete. 6. The breaking point. As the spirit of Meera wailed in heartbreak, the ground beneath them began to crack. A strange fire blazed in a circle around Rohit's body. His hands trembled, and his skin turned icy white. Baba Rudranath stepped in, chanting mantras with a trident in hand, surrounding the boy with a protective circle of holy ash. Now, Arjun, he shouted. Call out to Rohit. Remind him who he is. Arjun ran into the circle and shouted through the storm. Rohit, fight her. She's not your love. Remember your truth, your life, your dreams. Rohit screamed in agony. His body jerked violently. Blood dripped from his nose and ears. And then, silence. Rohit collapsed. 7. The miracle awakening. For a few moments, no one moved. The forest calmed. The fire disappeared. Only a light mist remained. Then Rohit slowly opened his eyes. This time, they were his. No red glow. No fog in his mind. Arjun? He whispered weakly. Arjun wept. Yes, bro. You're back. You're really back. Baba Rudranath nodded solemnly. The spirit has been released. She is free, and so is he. As they helped Rohit stand, a faint voice echoed through the trees, Meera's voice. Thank you for setting me free. This time, it wasn't vengeful. It was peaceful. 8. The final twist. Days passed. Rohit recovered slowly and returned to normal life, though he remembered little of the events. Arjun never told him everything. Some truths, he believed, were better buried. But one evening, while browsing through his old camera's gallery, Rohit found something chilling, a photo he didn't remember taking. It was of Meera, standing under the twisted tree, smiling softly. Behind her, written in blood-red letters on the bark, were the words, I will return if you forget me. Rohit's smile faded. From outside the window, a soft breeze whispered his name. Rohit. The screen faded to black. Suspense hook ending.